Excellent. Are we live? Hi, everybody. I am trying something a little bit different tonight with the camera face down because tonight I actually wanted to do, to kind of go through what I was doing in my last live with the collaborative effort with Wasima, where I was talking about chakra spreads. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana. For those of you that are new, welcome, welcome. And I see I'm looking in reverse. This is going to be really tricky tonight. So I'm using my webcam overhead, and we'll just see how this plays out because I'm looking opposite. So as we go through tonight, I'm going to get you to check in with me about rights and lefts, but I think I'm going to have to do opposite facing. So welcome. Hi, Ange. Glad to have you here. How are you? I had quite a few requests after I did the event, the heart event, what was it called? Wisdom, no, not wisdom, miracles and love. And this was just after Valentine's Day. Hi, Secret Turtle. Nice to have you here. Welcome. How are you? So I felt that when I was showing you and sharing kind of how I work with the heart chakra, that showing you with my face and holding up and gesturing, it made it really difficult. So tonight we're going to look at the cards, the crystals down on the table. And this will probably be the first and only time I'll do a live stream this way. But I thought it would be a lot more helpful for you, for those of you that were really interested in these spreads and what I was doing with the cards. Hi, Kyle. Thank you for joining me tonight. So yeah, so I'm just going to get right into it, and I'm planning on doing at least 1 or 2 readings tonight as well too. So what you're looking at here, these 6 crystals are representative of the upper 3 and the lower 3 chakras when we come together in the hexagram of the heart chakra. So if you look at the black crystals here, so these are actually tourmaline, but I chose black to represent the divine feminine energy, so the chalice. So this is the shape of the cup, right? The cup. And here the clear quartz crystals represent the element of fire, so the blade with the upward facing triangle. And when you come together, oh God, I hope I don't bump the camera. If I bump the camera, everything's going to fall over. Hi, Cedar Grill. And so when these 2 triangles come together, we have the hexagram of the heart chakra. So the other thing I want to share with you tonight is that this is very much an evolving spread for me. I have been working with chakra spreads for quite a while, and the more I work with it, the more these spreads evolve. So what I really want to offer to you tonight is that when you are working with layouts, and even if you take them from a book, you know, and they kind of have very specific directions, please allow them to evolve and to do whatever it is you need them to do. Yeah, so when I was actually laying this out with the crystals, with the camera facing down, this is actually something different tonight that I'm doing. So in the past, what I did was this, and I'm going to show you here. So I feel like I'm playing marbles or something. So I have always done this. So I had these 3 cards. So imagine these are the tarot cards. These 3 cards representing the lower 3 chakras, and then these 3 representing the upper 3 chakras. But that's not what the hexagram of the heart chakra, the Anahat chakra, is. It's about the union of these 2 chakras, right? So you actually have the fire and the water this way. So before I go any further, I want to check something with you because I need to know. So I'm going to use my little pointer, and I want you to tell me if this is left or right for you. Can somebody please tell me? Because that's going to help with me doing the way I lay out the cards and everything tonight. So I just need to know if where my pointer is right now is left or right as you're looking at the screen. It's left. Okay, yay. All right. So when I look at my screen, it's opposite, but so I'm just going to do it as I'm looking at it. So perfect. Do you remember a few weeks ago, if you were here, we were talking about facings and readings. And we were talking about, so I'll just get a couple cards and show you what I mean. So, you know, when you have court cards or other cards where there's humans on them. And so, for example, here's the Knight of Fire and the Lily White. And let's just find another one. Okay, so here's the Hermit card. And one of the things that I tend to do is I read the cards as I'm seeing them, not from the perspective of the person on the other side of the table and not from the perspective of the cards. And when I was talking to this other reader, the way that he was reading was from the perspective of the card. And so if I'm looking at the card, right, this is the king's right shoulder. We can't see the king's left shoulder. This is the young woman's left shoulder here. And so that means that, what does that mean? What am I saying? What am I saying? So I want to give you a straight face on one. And hopefully this will become apparent in just a moment, what I'm trying to do here. Because sometimes this factors into a reading. So here's another card. So this particular king here, the King of Air. So this is his right shoulder. This is his left shoulder. So when you are doing a reading and you look down at the reading and you talk about this being the right side, it's actually his left shoulder. And so what I have been playing with this chakra reading is to read it much like a tree of life reading, where you read it from the back. So what I'm going to be doing is, so this is his right shoulder. So I'm going to use this as the right side of the reading, and this is the left side of the reading. Does that make sense? Because we're looking at, when we look at the hexagram of the heart chakra, this is this made so much sense this morning when I was prepping for this video. This is the right side of the body. Right? Because we're looking at it this way. So this is the right side of the body. The only way that it would be the left side of the body is if the cards were face down, and then this would be his left shoulder. Do you get what I'm doing here? Think where the heart is in the hangman. It's on the left of the person in the card. Okay. So this is something that's been really, really confusing me. And it's a lot easier to say that this is the left and this is the right. And I need to pick one. And I think my point is that as a reader, you need to pick one and you need to decide if this is left or this is right, because that has implications for this reading. So if this is left, this is the lunar side and this is the solar side. And if you are going to read it from the perspective of the cards, then this is the solar side and this is the lunar side. So I need to decide right now and make this crystal clear for myself and for everyone else, because, and I honestly, to tell you the truth, don't know which way that I want to go. But historically for me as a reader, I feel like I've been doing it not wrong, but I feel it would be energetically more in alignment if this were the right side of the reading. So I think for tonight, that's what I'm going to do. And if I get messed up, I'm apologizing in advance, okay? So please forgive me, because I really kind of want to work with the physical body, the energy body, in a way that really feels in alignment and really feels well thought through. So has anybody else chimed in? Okay. So we have a small group here tonight. Who else is here? We have 6 people watching. So yeah. So who would like to be my first demo reading? Hi, Whale Song. I'm dyslexic to left and right was hard for me, so I always use heart side and non-heart side. Sorry, also as a nurse, I usually face my patients, so left and right are opposite, so to speak. So yeah, and I also teach yoga, right? So I'm always mirroring my students. And so yeah. So for the purpose of this reading, this is right, okay? All right, so this is a little bit different than the instructions in that live that we did the other day. I'm shuffling the lily black to represent the black stones, which are the cup. And I'm going to represent the lily white for the white stones, which represent the upper 3 chakras. And who would like a reading? Because one of you lucky people are going to be my demo reading, or I can just do a demo reading if none of you have a particular question regarding the energy of your heart space. So anything to do with grief or letting something go or actual heart condition, bringing the upper 3 and lower 3 chakras into balance. Does anyone have a question? All right, Ange. So something along this theme, do you have a question? And I'll shuffle the white cards as well. Okay. So I'm just waiting for Ange's question, and then we'll go ahead. So there's a few other things here because I have decided to do this differently. We have some other considerations. So the black tourmaline represents the cup, correct? So I'm going to lay down, so this is going to represent the root chakra. This is going to represent the crown chakra. The black represents the lower 3 chakras. And so if this is the right side, we're going to go 1, so root chakra, 2, Swadhisthana, 3, Manipura, so sacral chakra and solar plexus chakra. Okay. And then I don't want to get mixed up here. So this is Swadhisthana. So this is going to be throat. This is going to be, I should have made little stickers for you. This is going to be the third eye, and that's going to be the crown. And then in the center, we're going to place an oracle card. So I did a couple of readings today as I was practicing for this, and I just really feel this is like taking this spread to a whole other level. It just feels like it's I kind of blew myself away when I started kind of weaving this together, and it really feels good. So let's look at Angie's question. The changes within myself and doing interior work. I'm also dealing with an illness too. Okay. Okay. So Lori, what we're going to do is I'm working through, and I have been, sorry, you probably can't hear over the shuffling. I have been revising my chakra spread, and I did a whole live last weekend about the chakra spread, and I had lots of questions. And so since that time, I've been playing with it, and I have sort of revised it. And so what you're getting here tonight is a live demo of that chakra spread. Okay. So this is for Ange, and we're going to lay the 3 black cards for the cup. Okay. So in the place of in the root, so that's straightish, we have the Chariot. Okay. the Chariot. And so for Swadhisthana, we have the Three of Cups. So that's going to have to go up a little bit higher. And for Manipura, we have the Ace of Wands. And hopefully this will all focus for you. Okay. So let's just have a look at the chalice, right? At the lower 3 chakras, just so you get this. And Lori, I'll actually do the reading. I'm just going to kind of, I want you to see this kind of step by step, how I'm doing this, so you guys can use this or use pieces of it. So we have the root chakra, we have the Chariot. Okay, so there's this real kind of, when we're looking at the root chakra, we're looking at family, we're looking at our safety, we're looking at patterns within the family, we're looking at a lot of fears around the whole, and it doesn't necessarily have to be family. It can be like the team that you call home, the place that you call home. And to me, this looks like almost like a real kind of energy around it's really time to step out on my own and move away from home. And then over here in the Sacral Chakra, so the Swadhisthana Chakra, we have the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups in the Swadhisthana Chakra. So right away, I'm just going like celebrating femininity, celebrating your creativity, to have the celebration in the Swadhisthana Chakra, which is the home of the divine feminine, is just really, really beautiful. So it feels like if there are any issues, so you don't need to tell me what's going on with your health issues, but if any of your health issues are involving the pelvic region, the reproductive organs, to really kind of allow yourself to embrace all things lunar, all things feminine, all things mental and softer and gentle, and to really step away from the activity, to step away from the need to always be doing, right? So this feels really, really beautiful here. And then over in the Ace, we have the Ace of Wands in the fire, right? In the Manipura chakra, the solar plexus. So this feels also like it's very supportive of this card. It's like this is really an important time for you to menopause, laugh out loud. And I can talk to menopause. Is that, I don't know if there's more to your health issue than menopause, but if this is about menopause, this is an amazing reading, because are you aware that in the physical body, the diaphragm is like it's like this layer, this block between the lower 3 chakras and the upper 3 chakras. So if we had just have the cup here, right? And forget about the reading for now. So this is the cup, right? And here is the diaphragm. And then you have the upper, I might be going off the camera. Sorry, I'm just going to make this really mini here. Oh, you can't even see that. I'm going to move down. Okay, I've got to make sure you can see all this. So here are the upper 3 chakras. So the chopstick is the diaphragm. These are the upper 3 chakras. Okay, and Manipura, the solar plexus chakra, sits right here below the diaphragm. And so this whole experience of perimenopause is really an urgency to bring the solar plexus chakra into balance. And with this Ace of Wands sitting here, that is so cool. I almost used an expletive here. Like it seriously is so effing cool, because it just shows me the urgency and the ability and the strength to kind of blast through all the crap that you're going through right now. And part of that is exactly what I said about over there in the Swadhisthana chakra, is about letting go of all of those to-do lists and to really start to move into a place of trust in order to bring the Manipura chakra into balance. we have to leave the ego a little bit over, at the back door, and we really need to move into a place of trust. So if you're looking at the body, if you place one hand on your liver, one hand over on your spleen, the whole idea of trust is over on the spleen side, the side of the doing, and the ego is over on the liver side. And so these are just really important connections. And these cards are just a really beautiful manifestation of all of that. So I'm going to move these out of the way. And then we're going to lay the 3 cards for the upper 3 chakras. And sorry if everything's not going to be perfectly straight here. I never thought I was going to... Okay, problems with digestive system, my immune system, which is attacking the liver. Okay. So, God. Okay, so I'm not a medical doctor. Okay, I do a lot of energy work, and this is, everything I've said so far is very much in alignment with everything that the cards are saying and with what I believe, without you giving me that information that is there. So the whole idea with the immune system is that we need to allow the natural healing process to look after itself. And when the body, when we have an autoimmune disorder, that is not functioning properly. So the body is attacking itself. So why is the body attacking itself? It's a very complex problem. Complex, I don't want to use the word problem. It's a very complex energy. And so we need to restore and we need to rebuild the immune system so that it can take over and we can wean ourselves off the autoimmune drugs. And I do believe that it is possible to back off them. And over time, I want to believe in my whole heart that it's possible to move away entirely. But like I said, I'm not a medical doctor, and I want you to always take the advice of your doctor. So I'm going to come back to that because it's really interesting about the liver and how the liver, so the liver side is here, okay? The liver side is here on the fire. So this is really about a new perspective about the liver, okay? So new perspective about the liver, a new vision, creativity, purification. Okay, so I'm going to go with purification because fire also is one of the fastest ways to purify. You've heard me talk about this before, so let's carry on. So the 5th chakra is going to go here because we're going to weave this. So here's the 5th chakra, and we have the 7 of Swords. So in this deck, I really want to always ask, what is the eagle dropping? What is he leaving behind? What is he letting go of? So the eagle is flying away either into the moon or into the sun, depending on the perspective that you have, and taking 6 swords and letting one go because it really doesn't matter. There's a lot of different decks where this 7 of Swords is so much more than that whole idea of stealing, right? That whole idea of something being taken. And there's this ownership about taking back what is yours and taking what is rightfully yours. But there's also this, as this eagle is flying away, there's a sense of, okay, I can let some of that go. For my own sanity, I have a right to something, but there's a piece of it that I can let go. So this is the 5th chakra. Yes, this is the 5th chakra. So this is the throat. So there's something here with the voice, with communication that needs to let go, that needs to be let go of. There's something that has been probably maybe some harsh words that have been spoken that need to be released and need to be let go of. And we're going to look in relationship between the 2nd chakra and the 5th chakra. Okay, because these 2 chakras are the medicine for each other. And I want to come back to that. So, hi, everybody that's chiming in. All right. So, is your name Kate? Heckett's Crossing. Are you a Kate, or is that your whole name? I've always been curious about your name. Okay, so then we go to the third eye. Ooh, this is so cool. This is a great reading, Ange. Wow, look at this. We have two aces over on the right side of the body. So for those people that are chiming in, we're doing this a little bit different today, and hopefully you can watch it in playback. But this is the chalice. This is the root chakra. This is the second chakra. This is the third chakra. We're just building the symbol of fire, so the blade. And right now we've got the throat. Okay, this is the third eye. And then we'll put the crown chakra down in a minute. So over here on the right side of the body, the solar side of the body, you have two aces that are, I feel like, cutting through a lot of, I don't know what I'm going to say. There's a lot of bullshit, okay? So what's going over here in the chat? I saw something. Hi, I don't know if I've seen you before. Welcome to my channel. Oh, it's Paula. Okay, hi Paula. I used to live in Japan, and when I see that name, I think of that song, Hey Paula. That was one, there was so few English songs in the karaoke bars in Japan, and one of them was always Hey Paula. I want to marry you. I don't want to marry you, but I always liked that song. Okay, so here we go. All right, so up in the third, in the crown chakra, we have the Three of Pentacles. You must have some crazy energy, Ange, because look at that, right? So that Three of Pentacles, that triangle, that divinity, the divinity of the Three of Pentacles is sitting up there in the crown chakra. So this line of energy is the Sushumna Nadi. So this is the central line of energy where the Kundalini energy travels. So the Kundalini energy, I'm going to say for most of you who are even watching this video, who have some spiritual awareness, who have some spiritual practice, that Kundalini energy is probably sitting in the second or third chakra. Some of you definitely will have the energy sitting a little bit higher, perhaps in the heart chakra, but for most of it, it's going to be primarily in the third chakra. And I can talk about that at another time because it's so interesting how to kind of move that energy through, and depending on your age. So for those of us that are have gone through perimenopause, we're in menopause, that is the time of your life where it is I don't want to say crucial, that's kind of a hard word. The yogis, the sages say that by the time you get through menopause, you need to have purified that third chakra, or a lot of crazy stuff is going to happen. The recommendation is to get to the heart chakra by the time you have gone through menopause. So I think that's really, really interesting. And so I was showing you that bit of the diaphragm later, and we have these two aces here, and that kind of this need to get well, and this need to move through everything. And the overall feeling of this reading, Ange, is one of really embracing your spirituality, and embracing grace, embracing really coming into a place of trust. There's something about all of that. So let's look specifically at the upper three chakras. So I talked a little bit about the throat, and here we have in the third eye chakra, the Ace of Swords. And this deck is so cool in the Suit of Swords. In most of the cards, not only do we have symbols for the air, but we also have the ether from the smoke of the incense. And what this deck does is it really makes the swords about spirit, about the energy of the awareness of the ether, the awareness of spirit among us all the time. And then, like I said, in the crown chakra, you have this crazy card here, like, holy cow, like, this is just like pointing straight up. Oh, I know where I was. So I was talking about the Sushumna Nadi. So this Sushumna Nadi runs from, so when you're a baby, you have the fontanelle up here, right at the top of the head. And so as we turn into adults, it closes up and you get this hard head, and it's a little harder to access. This meditation is great, focusing on the Agnya Chakra. So focusing on this chakra, meditating on this, the third eye chakra is where you need to really spend a great deal of time. There's no need to focus on opening up the crown chakra. The work that we do in these lower chakras, especially on this chakra here, will help to reestablish this line of connection through the central channel. So what Ange has here in her reading are these wild horses sitting down here in the divine feminine lower three chakras, wanting to connect with this divine energy. We have the Trinity up here, this triangle. And so I want you to think about this channel as a channel that is always open. The energy is moving up and moving down. And in order for the Kundalini to rise, in order for us to have these spiritual experiences, what happens is the Kundalini rises, it connects with spirit, and then moves back down again. And then that's where we find, the peace and the bliss and so forth. And so, and this reading is like so cool. It's so spot on. It's so like, I just want to say, stay committed to everything that you're doing. It feels like you're doing all the right things, and not to doubt yourself. Okay. Now, where is the heart chakra in all of this? Because here we're looking at kind of squashed up, sorry. Maybe it helps if I put the crystals back on top. So I'll put the tourmaline back on top for the lower three chakras, and the clear quartz is representing the blade. Okay, so the upper three chakras. So here you have your hexagram. So where is the heart chakra? So in the past, I told you the spread has been ever evolving for me. I have thought that you can't really see that part, can you? Let's put this one here. It's emerald. It's an emerald heart. I thought that we needed a card here. I thought we needed an oracle card in the middle, or another tarot card in the middle. But what is the hexagram of the upper three and the lower three chakras? It is the heart, right? So the union of those upper three cards and the lower three cards is the heart. So what the heart is all of those cards together. So if we stacked all of those cards on transparencies, and we kind of blended the energy of all of them together, that is what the heart chakra is. So, and of course, I've got a deck here. I'm going to shuffle and kind of pick an overall theme for the reading and place it in the center. But as I have been contemplating this, I don't think it's really necessary. I think the whole idea is that what we have here is enough, and to kind of go back and look at the chalice, look at the blade, and look at the interaction of the two and see how they are supporting each other. And for Ange, this is really quite something. Okay, so 400 GSM cards that don't shuffle. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just pick one oracle card here. All right. This is from the, well. Look what we got here. Kind of perfect, huh? This is from the Connected and Free Alchemist Oracle. So I'm going to go back to what we were talking about very early in the reading, and that is what I was talking about over here in the Swadhisthana chakra. And look at all the symbols we've got going on here in this card. And so to there's a couple of ways to kind of work through what you're doing. And one, I would suggest a creative project to not to take your mind off all the physical stuff, but use the creative project to transmute the energy of the physical issues. Does that make sense? So find the creativity as medicine for the physical body. And when we work energetically, it's really important to understand that through moving the physical body, through the pranayama practices, the breath practices, we can nudge up against the spiritual. But there's other ways to do that as well too. So that's kind of where I would go with this. So I hope that's of some help for you. And I would love to do another example for somebody else. So I'm going to clear the cards off here. And then if somebody else has a question, who else would like a reading tonight? Or if you have questions about the spread itself, if something isn't clear, let me know and I'll try to clear this up. And especially if you chimed in a little bit late and missed some of this, I will try to help you with that. Okay, so these are such gorgeous cards. How many of you have Lily White or Lily Black? Does anybody? They're from France. Celia Millsville is. You're welcome, Ange. Okay. So I have a couple other decks here, and I thought I would. Let's see here. What's the question? Who wants to go next? I don't, but they are on my wish list. It's on my want list. I like that. Not a want list, but a wish list. And Sacred Turtle says, this is the first time I've seen them. So I will do a demo reading if nobody wants a reading, because I want to give you another example. Okay, so this Until, sure, you can be the next volunteer. So do you have a question? We'll just kind of wait for your question. And I'm happy to use those same decks. So this Until, do you want me to use the same decks? Or I was going to switch it up and use something else. So let me know. If you want to see more of these cards, I can use the same decks again, because some of you haven't seen these decks. Celia, so Celia, Millsville, MELESVILLE.com. And I have a couple videos. I'll link a card later. The black deck is just so beautiful, and the card quality it's that perfect blend of good quality cardstock. And I didn't do this, so the black deck comes edged black. That it just feels like amazing, and it shuffles so well. You know, it's not like one of those cardstocks where you get nice cardstock and you can't riffle shuffle them. So it's kind of important to me. You can use whichever one. Okay. So I'm going to mix it up just because I want to show you, if you're not using two tarot decks, what this might look like. Okay. So did we get your question? Do you have a question? Specific question, this Until, or I can just read it. It's kind of helpful if I have a question or direction, or I can just kind of see what's going on. So I'll show you what I'm doing here. I'm shuffling my Osho Zen. So if you haven't seen my Osho Zen before, I edged it in all these colors. And so Christine Waters, who is on a lot of the Facebook groups, you might have seen her. So she made this box for me for my trimmed Osho Zen. Yeah. So I actually met her. I went over to Vancouver Island and met her. So, and this is one of my favorite cards in the deck. This is the Queen of Cups. Yeah, so she made this sweet box for me. Isn't that great? Yeah. Okay, we got the question. I want to see the spread used again. I like how you just intertwine chakras. I would like to know about my tarot business. Okay. All right. So when we talk about the union of the lower chakras and the upper chakras, it's really about coming into this place of contentment, this place of unconditional love and gratitude. And it's just what happens, and what blocks this chakra is the unprocessing, is that even a word? Not fully processing events. So especially particularly losses and challenges in life. So if there have been divorces, if there have been deaths, if there have been tumultuous breakup of relationships, if there's been a lot of heartache that really hasn't been significantly processed, then what can manifest here is a lot of pain. And that's often experienced in the physical body, in the back rib cage. And if you do meditation, if you practice yoga, if you are doing spiritual work, then that can that really feels like that tension in the mid upper back area. And once this chakra begins to come into balance in the physical body, there's a lot more freedom in the back, and the back just feels a lot healthier. Okay, so we're going to do this reading for this until. Okay, so root chakra. We have the Four of Wands. So the Four of Fire. The Four of Fire. So really coming together with being very much in acceptance of the extended family, the groups of people from your hometown, the almost, because we're talking about your tarot business. So I want you to think about, because this feels very very balanced, right? So this is the Four of Fire. This is different energies, all races of people, all groups of people. So this card, we're looking down from the top view of four people sitting in a meditation posture. It also, there's lots of other symbology in this card as well too, but these are the heads. So we're looking in a downward facing view, and these four figures are sitting in a circle with this beautiful energy in the center of the circle. So when we're talking about this business, it feels like a very making sure that the business is inclusive of all walks of life, inclusive of participation, community participation. That's what that really feels like. Yes, that box is made by Bunny Kisses. So her name is, her online name is Christine Waters. So what I was thinking when I saw this here was community events to advertise your business. I know all of us in our businesses, it feels like we give away too much. And sometimes I feel like there needs to be recognition for the financial aspect of business. So this might mean that you want to come together with other businesses to support your business. So like kind of like a co-op, something like that. And then in the Swadhisthana chakra, feels like a little bit of impatience, a little bit of haste, I believe I've cut the keywords off this deck a long time ago, but I believe the keyword there is intensity. So we're going to kind of look at what is the intensity in the Swadhisthana chakra. But the Swadhisthana chakra is also the place of creativity. So it feels a lot of passion in the creativity of the business, which is not a bad thing as long as that is not out of whack. It needs to be kept in check. In the Manipura chakra, we have the wheel. So that's a kind of cool card to have there. And so this may be, because we're looking at Manipura chakra, so the solar plexus chakra, this energy is definitely one of, I'm going to go ego here, changing your perspective on what's really important. There might be some big lessons to learn here. And so with this card, it's really important energetically to maintain the quiet by staying close to the center. And so that really kind of speaks to giving yourself time to meditate, time to be in quiet reflection about how the business is going to grow. And out here, what this feels like out here to me is being a little bit frenetic in the growth of the business. It feels like this lack of patience over here. So to take a little bit of time and to allow this to grow in a more organic way than an intense way. In the throat, we have the Five of Pentacles. So I'm just going to call a spade here. So make sure that you are not sabotaging your business by self-deprecation, by forgot caps for above question. Oh, it's okay. So what I'm saying here is that in the Five of, sorry, I was looking at the chat and then I got distracted. In the Five of Pentacles, we need to be careful that we are not creating the sense of scarcity with our words. A lot of us can, or even with our thoughts, with our breath. So just be really mindful of that, and to use your words, to use your thoughts, to use your breath, to be in awe of the abundance that is all around you, to find the abundance and the beauty and the awesomeness of life, and to articulate that and to celebrate it in other people. There is a word in Sanskrit called Maitri, M-A-I-T-R-I, Maitri. And part of the lesson of Maitri is to celebrate. I wish I had my Yoga Sutras here. I could read you the whole thing. So we want to be grateful. We want to be happy for those that are happy. We want to be happy for people that are wealthy and have things that are abundant. We want to be compassionate for the poor. We want to find this one comes from shamanic teaching. We want to find the gold in every situation. And so to me, that's what the Five of Rainbows is doing there in the Swadhisthana. It's forcing you to seek that out. So as that could also be through your blog or your vlog, and to you want to really cut out any self-deprecation, any thought or worry about the business not being successful in that regard. So that might be a little bit of work for you. In the Agnya Chakra, we have the Nine of Water, so the Nine of Cups. And that feels like you've really seen you see the business clearly, right? You see exactly what you want. You feel the abundance of the business. You feel the success of the business in your meditation behind your closed eyes. And the shadow side of this card is reflected in this deck. So this is called, I believe, laziness is the keyword. And so we want to make sure that when we do get what we wish for, when good things come our way, that we continue to be in a place of gratitude and we continue to move forward and not just sit back on our hindquarters, sit back on our laurels because we can, right? To always be in action, to always be in process. And also that's kind of what this card here speaks to me, is this is, there's this sense of, we are never alone. Like this here is 4, right? But it is also 1. And you've heard me talk about this so many times through different tarot teachings, and that in order for us to come back to the ace, to come back to wholeness, we need to understand that each of the minor cards is a piece, is a part of the whole. Right? So we want to make our way back to the ace. So this card of intensity here, this Knight, this is the Knight of Fire. The Knight of Fire. The Knights are fueled by air, right? So this is very, very, so just watch is such a judgy word. Be mindful, of that heat. Be mindful of, if you tend to be one who gets angry or anything like that, good night, Cedar Creel. Yeah, that heat feels a little bit, oh my goodness, look at this. What a beautiful card for the crown chakra. Beautiful. So this is the judgment card in this deck. And this is a card of, sometimes when I look at the Hermit and the Hanged Man and this card, I kind of feel that each of those are and there's other cards too, but they're kind of like these level up cards. They're kind of like we do a lot of work and then we are given these gifts of insight. We're given these gifts of feeling a little more, I don't know, like we're making progress on our journey, something like that. And it's just a gorgeous card to be sitting up there at the crown chakra. So I want to also have a little, oops, I'm going to be careful because I don't want this camera to fall over. I want to talk about the relationship between these two cards because this is a very important relationship. And I'm also going to talk about this Sushumna Nadi again. So this energy that, and we can also talk about this side as well too. So let's do these one by one. So the relationship, the thing here though is that this intense Knight here is facing over at change. So this Knight is fueling, the Knight is fueling this change. And so there is this sense of urgency. There is this sense of hurry up and get this done. It's like this Knight of Fire is talking to the Manipura chakra, the solar plexus chakra, and going like, would you hurry up already and get this done? You should have already had this business completely established. Like, what's the matter with you? What's wrong with you? Yeah, can't you do this better? Can't you hurry up and, be financially successful and have all the ducks in order? But that is, I want you to know that is not in your highest, and to take walks, to meditate, to do whatever you can to just deep breathing, focusing on your exhale, beginning to calm that fire so that you can allow the business to grow. And there's no cards here that say to me that this business is not going to be successful. It's not going to grow, but there's this urgency that needs to be slowed down just a little bit. Okay. So what's going on here? So here we have the Swadhisthana chakra, and here we have the throat chakra. So this is sacral chakra. This is throat. Okay. Swadhisthana, throat. So usually I can go and say that because this is a challenging card. And the way to move through, the way to purify the throat, I already talked about this at length, is to bring awareness to this. Okay, so the way that I'm going to go with this is, that's kind of a tricky one. So the messages, so this card also is a messenger card. So this does make sense. The messages need to be ones up. Remember that the chain is not locked, right? This padlock can come off at any time. And so as you find the words to speak the truth, to really be honest with yourself about how you want this business to look, what is the kind of clientele that you want to serve, what do you really want to do, what is in your highest interest, is important. So if there are other pressures moving this business in a different direction, if there are people that are telling you not to do this, if there's something that is not allowing you to move in a way that feels true to yourself, just be really clear with the delivery of your messages, okay? This felt really important to me. Okay, so listening to what the community needs, what your circles around you need, to feel free to bring in other businesses. So that might mean if you are working on a tarot business, maybe there's other practitioners that you want to work together with. I know, like on YouTube, for example, a lot of people get together and they do combined lives, right? So they support one another by working together. I'm actually working on a project, and I'm thinking of inviting somebody who does medicine with tea, and so I could see this as being like the tea medicine, the tarot reading, and I don't know, like a massage practitioner and something else, like bringing everything together. And once everything is brought together, then this transformation, this huge transformation will happen. Because this is so, again, this is another awesome, awesome reading with a couple of, kind of warnings on, not warnings, but, just cautionary reminders, because it's so easy when we're building business to allow ego to kind of take over and get in the way. I'm going to shuffle Oracle of the Echoes, and I'm going to pull one Oracle card to kind of tie this all together. I hope this has made some sense to you. You said spot on. Yay. That's always nice. So yeah. Oh, I love doing this. I really do. I had some really cool readings today and the last little bit. And at the beginning of the video, I said to you, like, I've been doing these chakra spreads for a while. And today when I was preparing for the video, and to really kind of regroup and to think this in a new way, for me, was a level up for myself as the tarot reader. And so I really want to encourage you to be creative in your spreads and to be creative in the work that you do, because, right? It's your journey. It's your process. It's really important. Okay. So Oracle of the Echoes, sum up card. Okay. This is really interesting. And this might speak to, okay, so this is protection. So you might know what this is about until then. And there may, Okay, so this is heart chakra. So I was talking about the heart chakra. We want to feel the contentment. We want to bring in the joy and the processing of all the things from the past. So if there have been protective layers like walls that you have built around your heart chakra. I should have done a meditation with you and scanned your energy body, but I don't have time to do that now. If you have built walls of protection around yourself for one reason or another, know that these layers of protection were there and they served a purpose, but you have this, you don't want this energy to block moving forward in your endeavor. So, how do you keep a modest layer of protection, but still allow the energy to flow freely? And I think that's a really important question for all of us as tarot readers, because there's always people that don't believe what we're doing. There's always people that challenge the various things that we say, and sometimes, I'm sure you've all had those readings where the person across from you sits down and they fold their arms and they go, okay, prove it, and that kind of attitude. It's really sucky kind of readings. I hate it when that happens, but usually it's because they are afraid, right? They're just so afraid. And I really don't feel, I'm at this place now where I don't feel like there's a bunch of negative entities out there that can attack me if I'm wide open. I feel like I've really come to a place where I can live freely and do what I want to do and stand up for what I believe in. And I don't proselytize. I don't, if people ask a question, I answer the question, right? So I never tell people what I'm doing if they're not interested. Somebody's knocking at my door and I don't know who it is. Okay, so what I wanted to say was this. This layer of protection is there for a reason. And so when it is needed, it's okay to put that on. But over time, you need to be... I'm really sorry about this. I'm just going to go to my door and I'll be right back. I know. Hi. I know, I'm sorry. I'm actually doing a live YouTube video right now. And okay. Oh. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so that I'm sure all of you have some tools to create that sense of protection, and maybe that's just taking a wand of Palo Santo and just weaving it around your heart space, or maybe you look into your own two eyes in the morning before you go out on your way to work, or I think it's just really important that this layer of protection be just enough, right? Not enough so that what do I want to say? Like I don't want it to be too thick, it's just got to be enough so that you feel comfortable. And this card here to me is encouraging you to let down some of those walls, to be brave, to feel confident in what you're doing, and to know that what you're doing is definitely on path, and you're going to feel a lot better if you can let some of those layers peel away. Okay? I'm just going to read your comment out loud. I know what this is about. I'm very protective. What's funny is that the throat chakra card looks like the same kid in both cards. I'm trying to protect my inner child. That's who shows up when I read. Oh, that's really interesting. So one of my recommendations for that, and this is a really powerful meditation practice, is that once you sit down and you bring an event to mind, an event for you that was kind of challenging as a child. One of those stories that you play over and over in your mind. And you talk to your younger self. You say hi to your younger self. And you comfort your younger self. And you give your younger self permission to do it differently, or permission to do it the way that you wanted to do it then, but you weren't allowed to, or you couldn't do it, or you weren't permitted to do it. And I've done this with a couple of different events in my life, and I tell you, it has just been mind-blowing. It's just been a really, really beautiful shift, and also actually being in the presence of my younger self, and just allowing that connection between my younger self and my present self. Yeah. So I hope that showing you these spreads with the camera face down is kind of given you inspiration to get creative with your spreads, but also to clarify some of the things I was saying about the heart chakra spread the other day. So you can go back, and I did a chakra video not too long ago, and then there's more details on that live that I did the other day. So I'll link all those videos once this has processed, and you can refer to that in the description box below. And I guess I should finish with plugging my course. So I have, I'm going to be doing an online chakra course that starts in March. So March is going to be the introduction, and we're going to do practices. So practices means all kinds of things, but breath practices, of course. I might have particular stretching or yogic practices. I might have all kinds of things. We might do some mantra. And then we're going to talk about the shadow and the light of all of the chakras in regards to everything from relationship to medical issues to spiritual issues and things like that. And then we are going to look at tarot spreads for all of the chakras, as well as I'm going to do a little bit of crystal meditation and crystal healing as well too. So you're going to get all kinds of good things. And so the video is already linked below in the description box. If you're interested in working with me, then that'll be once a month we'll get together. And then 1 week after our monthly session, there'll be a follow-up where you'll get a chance to check in and ask questions and make sure everything you learned that week, you're able to do it. And yeah, I just want to follow up with you. So, and those will be optional, of course. If you don't have questions and everything's going well, you can just send me a quick email and say, I got it, and I'll see you next month. Yeah, so that's all I have for you tonight. Oh, good, Lori. I'm glad that it made sense for you. And yeah, so thanks for your patience. I will wave goodbye. Hello. Goodbye, everybody. And I look forward, I can chat with you below after, of course, in the comments. Yeah. Thanks to Ange and Christian being part of the reading for you. Yeah, that was really nice. That was, I appreciate you sharing your personal journeys, and it's, you have to be a little bit vulnerable to, have your cards read publicly. So thank you. Thank you very much for doing that. I wish you well. Namaste.